Welcome to another edition of the Postgame Wrap. I'm Jared Johnson. In 28-22, Texas Tech defeated Arizona on the road in Tucson Saturday night. It was a late night game, 10 p.m. kickoff. But man, the Red Raiders were ready to go. Apparently, they should play more late night Big 12 after dark games because the intensity, the way they started the game was great. I mean, you take that every week. Bottom line is, with the victory, Texas Tech is 5-1 overall and alone atop the Big 12 standings at 3-0. So there's some other teams that are unbeaten, but Tech's the only team 3-0. So they go into their bye halfway through their first bye, halfway through the season, 5-1 and 3-0. I mean, terrific start. So for all the narratives, and I was somebody who asked McGuire about that in a press conference, the 1-1 start, barely beating ACU in overtime, and then the lone loss at Washington State early in the season, that's all nothing because the Red Raiders have responded and won 4 in a row. It's the second time Texas Tech has won 4 in a row under Joey McGuire. They also did it to end the 2022 season, and it's been a great stretch. Obviously, 3 of those games have been in conference play. You've beaten some good teams, not like great teams, but this Arizona squad just beat Utah on the road, a ranked Utah team on the road, a week before. So, a team with at least a couple of guys that will be playing on Sundays. So, terrific victory for Texas Tech. First time Tech has started 3-0 in Big 12 play since 2013. That was Kingsbury's first year. And I think the big thing to me was how great the defense played. The offense, man, it struggled, especially in the second half, but you got out to an 18-3 lead, and I think a big part of that was the defense. You were up 18-3 at the break, and that was after 2 turnovers. I think you have to. I mean, I've given them a lot of love on Inside the Red Raiders, on Twitter, anywhere anyone will listen to me now. In this video, Jacob Rodriguez was just a stud Saturday night. 13 tackles, a sack, and man, how about that pressure on Fafita, Arizona's quarterback? This is the most pressure Tech has gotten. They only got a couple sacks, but they hit him a lot. And I say only got a couple sacks, but 2 sacks is a good mark, period. And it's definitely a good mark for Texas Tech. And the consistent pressure they got was a big part of the game. But Jacob Rodriguez was a part of that. Excuse me. Again, 13 tackles, the sack. He had a big forced fumble on McMillan, T-Mac, their all-world receiver, late in the game. Late in the fourth quarter, when Arizona could have gone down and retook a lead that Texas Tech had just taken with a clutch Gino Garcia field goal. But 13 tackles, a sack, that big forced fumble, and he got the quarterback pressure, or actually he batted the pass up in the air that Quincy Ledet, the 315-pound nose guard, caught and rumbled down the field. So 3 turnovers for Texas Tech. Outstanding performance by the defense to hold Arizona to only 22 points, spearheaded by Jacob Rodriguez. But it wasn't just him. CJ Baskerville made an outstanding interception where he covered a lot of ground from his safety position and made just a beautiful toe-tapping catch on the run in the back corner of the end zone in the second quarter. And that was a huge play. Excuse me. Choked up because I'm emotional, excited about the performance. But in all seriousness, it did fire me up the way Texas Tech played. And if you follow Texas Tech, if you're a Texas Tech fan, you should be fired up by the way they're playing too. I think there was a lot of adversity throughout the game, despite the, again, 18-3 start in the first half. The first half was the best half of football we've seen from Texas Tech, probably since maybe against Cal. But if we take the bowl game out of it, maybe at Baylor last season when you totally dominated Baylor, that was a great just game. But that was this Arizona team's better than that Baylor team was, and Arizona came back. One of the weirdest things. That's what's great about college football. We saw those upsets. I mean, Vanderbilt beating number 1 Alabama. That's crazy. There were some others. Arkansas beating Tennessee, but one of the best things about college football is, despite the fact, there's the haves and the have-nots. On any given Saturday, who knows what could happen, And Taj Brooks fumbling twice is one of the most unlikely things in one half. Him fumbling twice in a season is kind of like, wow, okay, maybe. Him fumbling twice in a game is, wow, like so unlikely. Him fumbling twice in a half is inconceivable. So, but he did. And he responded with the final touchdown that put Tech up by 9 points. Arizona would get a field goal and try an onside kick that Tech would recover, and so they could get in the victory formation, and put the stamp on the 28-22 win. But Taj Brooks did respond, and I think that's a big key. I've seen it posted by people, and I think they're right. You posters out there saying this, whether it be on YouTube or Inside the Road Raiders or X or whatever, is this team is resilient. It's scrappy. All these close games that they're winning, it could go either way. I think the talent is pretty close in a lot of these. I do those recruiting comparisons, and the talent is pretty close. I would give Tech a slight edge, and that's what they're winning by. It's just a little by one score. And I think McGuire, he's now 12-3 in one-score games. Our Texas Tech is under McGuire, so that's a mark of a good coach. Speaking of good coaching, Tim DeRuyter, his defense has not been great this year, but he dialed up a really good game Saturday night. He kept Arizona guessing the whole time. He was aggressive with pressure and blitzers, which got home and affected Fafita, Arizona's quarterback. But he also would drop 8 sometimes, and they did a good job, the defense, of disguising it. Arizona was always guessing on what the coverage was going to be, or most of the time. And I just thought, to hold Arizona to 22 points, take 3, get those 3 interceptions, which, by the way, or 3 turnovers. By the way, Texas Tech has been really good at turning the ball over, turning opposing teams over. I believe they're, was it 12th, either 11th or 12th in the country now in turnovers forced this year. That's huge. And in terms of turnover margin, they're +3 on the season, which is in the top third of the country. And obviously, in these close games, without that turnover difference, Tech wouldn't be 5-1 and 3-0 in the Big 12. But they're doing it by making plays. It's not like Baskerville's interception. That was a great play. Jacob Rodriguez forcing a fumble, another great play. Him batting the ball in the air. And Quincy Ledet, at his size, in traffic, able to rise up and make that catch. How many times have we seen in years past Texas Tech have an opportunity, like, it's a ball, catch it, and they don't. They drop it. And it's like, oh, what would have been if you come up with that turnover or didn't get on that fumble or what, So Texas Tech is making the most of its opportunities, and they are forcing these turnovers. So, and it's a big part. Obviously, it's a big part of the game, so that's huge. But I thought the offense struggled in the third quarter. Clearly, Baron Morton with his accuracy was hit or miss, but he didn't turn the ball over. He was 17 for 29 for 214 yards. Didn't have a touchdown, but he didn't have an interception either. That was big. There's definitely room for improvement with this team, which is cool. Some other individual guys I want to give some love to. Devin Cromwell playing safety. I thought he ended up with 9 tackles. I thought he was a physical presence. He was hitting guys. Like, you didn't feel like Tech was small or lacked physicality on defense. And some of that was Devin Cromwell coming up and making sure tackles with physicality. And that was nice. I didn't expect that. He moved from corner to safety, and Chapman Lewis had been out. And, I thought the secondary was great. Braylon Lux coming back, that was huge. I thought he played really well. He competed, and that's what they need from Braylon Lux. The guy has a lot of confidence. He's physical, and he competes, which, let's face it, in the secondary, sometimes it looked like they weren't really competing a lot. They were just, it wasn't even close. Marion Horn, too, some nice tackle. He had like 10 tackles. He was big in run support and in the screen game. Made some really nice tackles. I know I'm leaving people out. A lot of guys to give some love to. Caleb Douglas, receiver, he had that clutch deep catch late in the game. That was huge. The offense had really been struggling. I think the TV announcer actually said they really needed that, and they really did. Clutch throw from Barron, really good catch from Caleb, and that's what he's supposed to do, right? Is be the deep threat. But he had 5 catches for 116 yards, so really good game from him. So I thought the offensive line overall played well, And then you got to give love to Taj Brooks for coming back from those 2 forced fumbles. A lot of guys would pout or get down, and for Texas Tech to continue to believe in him. 128 yards, 3 touchdowns is a great game. Those 2 fumbles is what he's going to think about. But now I can at least think about that with the victory and knowing that he bounced back. So now Tech goes into its bye. I know this is a longer post-game wrap than usual, but I feel like it was warranted with the performance, the way Texas Tech has played. 4 wins in a row, 3-0 in the Big 12. Great start for Texas Tech. We're going to have a lot of content. If Jaeger Shots isn't already posted, it'll be on soon. I'm going to update those ESPN FPI rankings because Tech did jump quite a bit as of Sunday, and then we'll start seeing if Tech might actually start getting some votes. I don't think they're going to be in the top 25, but I think they're going to start getting some recognition for this great start and their good play. So, for now, I want to thank you for watching, and until next time.